What's keeping you up right now? Why aren't you asleep? Is there something as small as it is that you enjoy? Then be grateful for that. Is there someone that would miss you if you were gone? Be grateful for that. If you don't try to find those things, in a way we are all lost, and only the small things that makes happy are the ones that can give us meaning. Also, your brain is really good at downplaying your role and things in others people's lives. Don't listen to it. You do matter. Yeah, I have a big thing Wednesday and I know it's not going to go well, so I'm very anxious, both about failure and socially anxious about the event itself, and depressed about my situation after the failure. Honestly, I'm tired of it all. In more than 30 years, most of my days have been filled with social anxiety. I'm so fed up with it all. Just evacuated 138 Afghan nationals to Germany yesterday, doing it again today. I'm supposed to be sleeping in preparation for the flight today, but seeing the old women and women with infants sitting on pallets in the back of our plane is gonna stay with me forever. I kept seeing my daughter's face, my mother's face. I hope they can find some comfort soon. Follow-up post: our crew just got green-lighted for our next evac, with permission to increase our passenger load to 250. I started an Instagram that I'll be posting pictures to after the next mission. There's also a link there for a GoFundMe I started. This is probably one of the few donations you can make that will go directly from your pocket to an Afghan family, because I'll be seeing them face to face for the next few weeks and will be putting supplies, money right into their hands as they step off our plane. The name of the GoFundMe is Afghan National First Step Evacuee Assistance. Even if it raises $0, I'll be posting updates to the link mentioned above, because there will unfortunately be people who will try to call this fake or call me a liar. Not that I care what they think about me personally, but if it gets in the way of doing some good, then I do have a problem with that. I'll check in again in approximately 32-ish hours. It's gonna be a long day. Oh, heartbreaking. My heart goes out to all of you who are working on field evacuation. I'm sitting many miles away watching photos and videos on my little phone, and it kills me to see all the agony playing out and being so completely helpless. It must be harrowing to watch all these people have to leave everything they've ever known to get away from there. There must be so much you'd want to say or do to help them. Words of reassurance, a promise of safe haven, a hug, and God knows what else. Yet all you can do is get them into planes and fly out, which is somehow everything and nothing at the same time. If any Afghans are reading this, no words suffice. I can only hope and pray that your land becomes what it once stood for again. It's a truly magnificent country. One day inshallah you get to see it in all its gloriousness again, and get to go back home. 3. I, 25F, just moved me, my partners, my mom, my 21-year-old brother, and my 6-year-old brother across the country, because the state we were in got annihilated financially by COVID. It took everything we had and then some, and as for now I am solely responsible for all of them. They're supposed to get their own place together but are staying with us until they can get on their feet. Now my mom, unvaccinated and refuses to change that, is sick, refusing to get tested. My partners and I are trying to avoid them as much as possible because we're already behind on money and cannot miss work right now, and I'm trying to work up the courage to text my dad or a friend back home and ask for $20 because we're out of food until payday on Wednesday night. It's been a fun couple of months. I had the same thing about 3 years ago at 37, developed anxiety over it and had to get in meds. One day decided to walk and quit. I make about 1/3 of the money and am finally getting off the meds right at this moment. Let me tell you, the moment you quit I was terrified for about 10 minutes, followed by the largest weight being lifted. Greatest feeling in the world. Good luck. Wish I would have seen this 6 hours ago when I too was lamenting the start of Monday and being compelled to do things I don't want to do in order to keep feeding my family. If you can carve out 1 or 2 things each week for yourself that you can really look forward to, it helps make the hours sacrificed to work seem less crushing. I started playing music, very amateur level, with a couple of guys I met at my kids' school and playing soccer with a couple people I met through a Facebook group. I now have 2 days each week when I'm absolutely excited to wake up and not think about my fuck-faced boss. I had that for a whole year until I finally quit last month. There are almost always other options, and sometimes a fresh start can save your life. When I had enough of my old job, I gave myself a plan to keep working there for 3 months. But once I reached a certain date, I would put in my notice no matter what. I'm unemployed but finding freelance work for a while as I let my mental health recover before finding the next solid job. Good luck. Going to sleep means dreaming of her and the life we could have had together. I have narcolepsy, so every dream is super vivid and I remember them all very well. It's basically front row seats to a good life I could have had instead of the hell I'm living through now. Soon though, the other part of narcolepsy will kick in. So I'm getting set up with the lights on and Twitch playing so that I can try to stay distracted until the very last moment before I pass out and stay sleeping as lightly as possible in an attempt to minimize my dreams. Also that I have something waiting the minute I wake up to take my mind off the memories of a life I'll never get to have. It's been almost 2 years. She's still all I dream about. Every dream, every night, always. If I never dreamed again, however that could be achieved, I'd be so grateful. Not right now because I just woke up. Insomnia. I cold turkey quit alcohol and marijuana last week and had a terrible time trying to sleep, just tossing and turning in a puddle of sweat all night long. I'm on day 6 and have absolutely put my foot down, and this is after at least a 12-pack a night and maybe 5-6 grams a week since my divorce 4 years ago. Oh, the fun you'll have. I'm sure it has changed significantly since my time, but you will despise everyone and everything there at first, but eventually you'll be a little sad it's over. Just remember, nothing you do for the first 2-3 weeks will be right and you will get yelled at constantly. Just play the game and realize it's part of the process. Do whatever you're told and be a team player and you'll do just fine. Little pro tip: when you first get off the bus at your barracks, everyone's bags will be in a big-ass pile and you will all be told to get your bag and line up in formation. Basically just lines arrayed in a box shape. Everyone will be concerned with only looking for their own stuff. Be the one helping others. Just grab the first bag you see from the pile, see whose name is on it and yell that person's name. Continue until everyone has theirs. It will get everyone their bag more quickly and will make you look good. This is what the drill sergeants, drill instructors are looking for: teamwork and leadership. I've just been on a 3+ hour call with my ex-fiancée of 13 years who I'm back with, and talking to her always leaves me on a high. We do this 3 times a week and it's nearly always the same. Somehow we're closer now than we were 13 years ago and we're in different countries. Being in love is a wonderful thing. This is probably going to get buried, but I'm getting married in a couple of months. We have no feelings for each other, barely ever talk, but my parents like him. Can't bring myself to say no. The thought of going through with the farce that we're putting up for other people's benefit is causing many sleepless nights. A very good human and kind contribution, but also pay attention to yourself too, like if you were one of your friends, because if we do that, we'll become better at helping others. Thank you, and help you feel better, or whatever is happening happens fast and brings you more knowledge. I'm trying to. The original commenter has a weird account. It was created 9 hours ago and has only commented on posts with his claim that he has sex with his sister. I don't know what's going on here, but my money is that this is a fake account, fantasy account. Edit: the dozens of his comments, all of them, are about sex with his sister. Well, I got my first journal when I was in grade 4 back in 2011, first date in my journal is 2012, and I've just had journals stacking up ever since. It's crazy to see stuff that I wrote in primary school all the way up until now when I'm almost 20. I can see what has always stuck with me and when my mental illness takes over. Lol. This girl stayed over. I had a migraine and she brought me aspirin. I only want to be friends, but we've been intimate a few times and the boundaries are mixed. She was drunk and didn't want to be alone, so she's laying next to me now. I don't know how to respectfully decline any foregoing friendship without being an a-hole. Quit smoking weed and am resisting drinking to cope. Males in my paternal line are a bunch of angry dudes for no reason. If you've ever been depressed, it's like that but with anger, rage. I am good at controlling it and have a strong sense of morality, so I don't worry about acting out towards people, but I'm getting eaten up inside. I probably need to talk to someone, but I'm scared I'll be convinced to take any pharmaceutical drug they might recommend. Like, I'd rather just smoke weed again than take a pill. Ugh, life's hard. For those of you with anxiety, it's time to let it go. I went through it real bad and overcame it. Was only sleeping 1-2 hours per day. Up all night. Would dread the night BC, that's when my mind would be awake. I'd try to sleep but then jolt because I needed a deep breath of air. Time to go to church and let it go. I'm awake because I refuse to be that fat, lazy, unhealthy person I used to be, so I'm going to the gym to exercise for a couple of hours before starting my day. But first, I have to spend a good 20 minutes scrolling through nonsense on my phone whilst sitting on the toilet in order to wake up because I'm in my late 30s, so getting out of bed at 4 a.m. and immediately being ready to go seems like some mix of alchemy and elven magic that my body forgot sometime around age 25. I am struggling to find the willpower to get out of bed and go to school, function as a human being. I actually want to just stay in my house and never leave unless I have to. At the same time, I want to be free, see people, do things, experience life in ways I simply cannot. I also can't really find my purpose in life, at least not clearly in this moment, and am leaning hard on my distractions to stop me from going further down this rabbit hole. The thought of Mike and an alcoholic father ruining our family's finances by investing our entire money into XRP and isolating himself from the rest of us, muttering about fake news. I'm scared he's become someone that I can no longer see as my father, or worse, someone who may hurt us because we're vaccinated. I'm up now, but when I was trying to sleep I would wake myself with pain when I moved my leg. I took a motorcycle course this weekend. I have never ridden, and did okay until the last hour on the last day. I hit the throttle by accident and narrowly missed a brick wall but pulled my hamstring so bad. Oh well. Could have been worse. Well, I haven't had much interaction with my GF lately and I've told her that it makes me sad and upset. We've been together for 1 year and 3 months now, and with her being distant I fear the worst. I feel as if she doesn't seem to care as much anymore. It doesn't help though that I'm busy with the military, and she's busy transitioning to college. I pray that this doesn't bleed over and turn into something that's too painful to bear. Emotionally, that is. I think my friend is mad at me. She offered a bunch of things she is leaving behind when she moves and I've been helping her out. She randomly decided today that she doesn't need my help anymore and would rather do everything herself. Now it seems like she thinks I only helped her because I'm greedy for her stuff I never asked for. And I feel kinda used for all the time and use of my car. Thinking about my miserable life. No friends and no one to talk to. I am so lonely. I have no one in life. I fucking go on Reddit and post random shit and that's about it. I have work and school problems that I'm stressed about. The hollow and worthless life I live. Nothing I do adds meaning to my life. Everything feels so empty. I look in the mirror and I don't even feel like myself. I can't fall asleep, and when I eventually fall asleep and wake up I feel like I've woken up in a copy of my house but it's not actually my house, and all the days bleed into each other like it's one long day. I'm too scared to come out as transgender and actually fucking do something about it. I just exist and think about it all day and keep on suffering. I sit and think all day long. Sometimes I listen to podcasts and go on Reddit or order worthless shit on Amazon. then I see a pretty dress or whatever, then I feel sad I can't wear it. If I have a particularly high amount of energy, I might be able to play a video game. All my friends are fake and don't care about anything but anime. Now I'm thinking about how I recently saw a guy give another guy instructions on how to commit suicide on this malaise of a website. What a dark world we occupy. I'm a bit of a hypochondriac. I'm 40, overweight. A few months ago, I discovered ridges, valleys running horizontally across my fingernails. Recent Googling makes me think it's those lines, symptomatic of underlying issues, including blood clots, typically caused by obesity. Yay, Western diet. Appointment with doc tomorrow. Wake up every morning between 4 and 5 a.m., have sleep apnea and use a CPAP machine. For whatever reason I'm only able to tolerate it for 6 hours a night. I get on my phone, listen to music, and just go through every social media app to keep myself occupied. Sometimes, if listening to a more factual YouTube, will drowse back to sleep. Get out of bed about 9 o'clock a.m. Woke up at 4 a.m. thinking about a trip I have planned for Friday. I am supposed to take my 12-year-old son see my 77-year-old father, who we have not seen since December 2019. The reasons I think I will cancel. Father has stage 5 Alzheimer's and requires full-time care. Watching this man change into a different person over the past 3 years has been painful and demoralizing. Despite that, he is discussing marriage to his caretaker girlfriend, who has him thinking his family is out to steal his money and stop him from living his life to the fullest. It is a classic predatory marriage situation, and father is still so charming that we could never get conservatorship. He needs to be in a nursing home, not redecorating his condo and planning his honeymoon. If I went, I would no doubt argue with him and GF, and then I could lose him completely. A year of remote schooling and then a structure-free summer, and son sleeps his host. He now sleeps 7 am 4 p.m. and resists any changes. School starts in 7 days, but also how can I take him anywhere if he's so out of control? COVID fears and also the difficulty of wrangling an Alzheimer's patient in a public place make it hard for me to plan any meals or outings for father, son and I. And predatory fiancé, of course. I am thinking 2 days of picnics. Maybe this is a bad idea. COVID levels are 2x what they were in November 2020 when I cancelled a previous trip out of fear of infection. Everything I read screams scary deadly pandemic, but now I have someone with dementia demanding I fly to Orange County to show him the grandchild he never calls. I am so depressed and anxious I am literally jumping out of my skin. My blood pressure is typically north of 170/85 despite meds. I am scared I will stroke out from stress and have no one to care of me. I still can't sleep. I just moved to a new apartment a couple of days ago. It has a cockroach infestation. Every night when I enter the kitchen there are at least 10 of them walking over the walls, the kitchen sink, on the floor. Sometimes they even adventure somewhere else in the house. Last night there was one besides my bed. Yeah, I can barely sleep lately. Researching every single thing that may help me get rid of them. Already called in the exterminators, but I have a huge fear that it won't be enough and the new apartment will be overrun by the roaches. In a very uncomfortable motel bed, suddenly freaking out about whether my newly planted shrubs and trees back home will need to be watered while I am away. I've been experiencing a shitty sleep-wake cycle for hours. This night seems never-ending, and I'm supposed to be getting some rest. I am missing my own bed and my mind refuses to stop spinning, so I'm back scrolling Reddit. There's this person that I like. I think we used to talk all the time, every day, and had great fun. We could talk about anything and everything, and we had basically no filter. We would play on a Minecraft server together and muck around. Then they disappeared off the face of the earth, online, for a week. Then they came back, then again and again and again till we were talking a few times a month. I thought they was ignoring me. Turns out they were doing this to all their friends. I couldn't work out if it was due to personal reasons, parents did confiscate tech once or twice, or me. I just couldn't work it out. They was really flirtatious, then ghosted me. Finally, we get back in contact, and the conversation is super dead. Days pass, get a response, feel like we're talking again, gone. Then I found out they intimidated and hurt the younger kids at their school because the kid was being rude, and I don't know how to feel about it. They regretted it, and said they could have done better, but my opinion on them is forever tainted.